Sorry guys, we're having some technical difficulties, but Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
I didn't shout that time.
Yeah, that was good.
Happy New Year! Happy 2020! This is the first Finance Friday live of the year.
2020, what's up?
Let's share it out because we're going to go over some New Year's resolutions for finance that you absolutely
going live
have to make
people on Instagram.
if you want to try to make money this year. This is going to be your year to change things financially. Okay, I'm sharing it out. We're going to go over 3 and 2 bonus.
I think so.
Kind of?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is that mine? Yeah. Okay, I'm sharing it out. See, it's still pausing internet-wise. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know if you can, but if you're
out there, are we pixely?
Let us know. Anyway, no, it looks like we're good. So if you've never watched a Finance Friday before, and this is the first time you're joining, this is the show where we transform even, some would say, your relationship with your money by giving you the information you need to grow and help you protect your wealth. I'm Amy Novakovich. This is Ryan Wilson.
Hey, everyone.
And we are on Facebook, obviously, Noble Wealth Management, but check us out on Twitter at Noble Wealth Management, MGMT. Huh, what? Just like, huh, what? Are we pixelating, or can you hear us?
I think maybe he's messing with us.
Right, post and post. We have a YouTube channel where we put a bunch of resources. Ryan is live on
Instagram.
I really need to get back to my 1-minute Instagram videos. If you have any topics that you want me to do for like a quick 1-minute Instagram, it's just so hard to do 1 minute, and I know I've said that before. Hey, Instagram Live.
We get like half of each of us.
So let's just get right into it because we don't want to bore everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so New Year's resolution, financial New Year's resolutions. Most people are like, I'm going to, organize myself, and I'm going to, like, it's all these big goals, right? So it can be overwhelming, especially if it's not your interest, if you feel like you're just not educated, if you feel like I'm just not good at money, which is a complete fallacy, by the way, because it's not a talent.
Yeah.
It's not a birth talent.
I guess it's a talent. It's not a.
It's not a talent because it's not like shooting basketball or.
Well, but shooting basketball you can get better at because you practice it. Like it's just something that's repetition.
Some people just aren't coordinated, and other people are more coordinated.
True.
Whereas money, you just need to
it's not
put in effort.
It's not something that's naturally you're either good or bad at. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yes, right on.
It's not a.
So most people make these huge goals. So we're trying to break it down, some easy ones that will definitely transform things, but not be a ton of effort.
Yeah.
Don't say your first one. I don't want to start with that because I feel like that's a dirty word.
People see this is a thing. New year, you gotta take away the negative connotation about.
So the first thing I want you to do, we're going to talk about your work retirement plan. If you have a work 401k, hey Johnny, if you have a employer 401k, 403b, 457, simple IRA, SEP IRA, they're all kind of the same, along the same lines. And your employer is matching. I need you to go right now and do your enrollment form. You must be contributing if they're matching because you're leaving free money on the table. That is ridiculous. You need to go out and do it right now. If they don't offer a retirement plan, you need to go to your bank right now and set up a transfer. I don't care if it's $50 a week, because what did we see?
Oh, a lot of things. What do you mean?
$200 a month.
Like my calculation table here?
Oh, I forgot that 401k thing.
Yeah, I pretty much took care of it all and some.
Go ahead.
So we can talk about it, but you continue your thought.
Well, I was just going to say that even a little bit amount of money transforms into a lot of money over time.
Yeah.
So
so basically I did it broken down every like 10 years. So if you start at 20 years old and you start investing $200 a month until retirement, so it's like 47 years if you retire at 67, depending on obviously retirement. But just for illustration purposes, we did at 7% growth. You would have $877,285.
Which 7% isn't like a guarantee or
anything. It's just for illustration purposes.
Average, even if you did 6%,
it might go down a little bit less. You could do 8, whatever.
Obviously, we're just trying to guess on an average of what the market has done historically over time.
Yeah, and so then I did it. If at 30 you started doing $200 a month, you would only have $419,380. So that's
still
less
a good
than
chunk
half,
of money,
but it's less than half than you started at your 20.
Right.
Now, in order to keep up with the investing at 20, so in order to get to $877,285, you'd have to invest $418 a month. So more than double you'd have to invest in order to keep up with that. Now, that's fine. A lot of people at 30 still aren't investing, but this is just illustrating, hey, there's no better time than now, because every day, pretty much you wait, you're going to have to invest more the next day in order to keep up with that growth.
Correct.
And then I did it at 40, and if you did $200 a month, it would be $191,421. So even half
Still a good
of
amount
that.
of money, but not enough to retire.
Right. Now we're getting to, yeah.
Did you say you found a statistic? You said you found like 64%.
64%. It was
of people
I
surveyed.
was on Yahoo Finance was the article. It was through, I forget who the company did the survey, but they surveyed 1,000 people, and 64% of those people had less than $10,000 in their retirement account. So that means that these people are, a lot of people are, they didn't
You're
put the
banking on
age,
Social Security.
right? You're banking on Social Security, which you're probably going to need something to supplement that.
Well, Social Security it won't be enough. So many people are concerned about it not even being there. I personally do think it will be there, but they're definitely dipping into it.
Yeah, they're dipping into it. And a lot of people say it'll be gone. I don't think it'll be gone, but it's not growing. And so
correct.
In order to keep up with even inflation, like we're looking at in 10, 20, 30 years, having to really supplement that with these retirement plans. And that's why there's things like, we're not going to get into it today, but the Secure Act that's coming out is making some changes to retirement plans.
Oh my gosh, that's what we should have done Finance Friday on.
We probably should have. Maybe we'll do it next week.
Okay,
it hasn't completely gone through, and there's still some things. But
the Secure Act, by the way, sorry, a little side stuff, is a huge change to some retirement plans. Like they're changing the required minimum distribution age to age 72. Like there's some big changes. Hey, Kristen. I've been meaning to call you, by the way. There's been some big changes, like the required minimum distribution, the taxation, if you're thinking of starting a 401k on those fees, the way Safe Harbor works, which that might not mean a lot to most of you, but we could get into it and explain it. That would make a change for you. We should do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, that's
another one.
Anyways, continue your thought.
But my point is that the Secure Act, the reason that they're implementing these is because
people aren't
saving enough. People are living longer. Things that weren't taken into account. There's less people going to be paying into it than there were 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and now in 20 years there's a net loss of humans paying into Social Security. So those are the things that mean that there's probably going to be a supplement needed. And so if you're not saving for retirement, and I guess saving isn't the right word either, it's investing for retirement.
Yeah, because saving doesn't really keep up with inflation.
Because that was in that same article, one of the biggest reasons people aren't investing for retirement is that they're just saving. They say they're saving in a savings account.
Well, a lot of people don't invest though because they don't understand.
Right.
And if you don't understand, call somebody.
Yeah.
Just message us. Like, we're happy to help. If we have to talk with you, we can't make recommendations. Anything we say on this show isn't a recommendation, so we have to talk with you. But if you're avoiding investing because you don't understand, call somebody. I'm telling you, it could be as easy as buying the S&P 500 if you don't want something managed, if you don't want to get into something that's sketchy, like the SPY is the S&P 500. Of course there's risk, of course it's going to fluctuate, but if you just need to understand that, we're happy to talk with you. It's 500 companies, which would be diversified. We can talk about all that kind of stuff, but you don't avoid investing just because you don't know it. You have to take that little effort to make a huge hundreds of thousands of dollars of difference in your life, possibly.
And just saving in a savings account is, we're in a place now where basically if you're saving money, you're ultimately you're at a net loss because of it's not keeping up with the inflation. So you're not losing the value, I guess, is if you're looking at your bank account, you're not losing that money, but it's not keeping up with what other things are being purchased for. And
so if you would have shoved $10,000 under your mattress 30 years ago, $10,000 bought a lot of stuff. So if we're talking over your head, if you don't know what inflation is, that's what inflation is that $10,000 today can't buy half as much as what it did 30 years ago. So it just keeps, you're getting some comments over there?
Well,
it just keeps things.
Free money, please. Don't we all?
Things keep getting more and more expensive, and you're just losing money because you're not keeping up with, expenses.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was our number one. Number one was you have to at least contribute to your 401k, especially if you have one at work. You have to go out and do that, enroll tomorrow and get your match. If you don't have one, you have to force save. You have to take every paycheck, you have to take a little bit and just set it up automatically so you can forget about it. This doesn't take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Literally take an hour of your time. And you know, it's so important that you do this if you want to have money in the future, because one thing you can't do is wake up at 50 and go back in time. You can't do it.
Yeah. And I mean, the point of today's video is to help you.
More money, but
yeah, you can always try and make more money. But a way to make more money right now without having to ask for a raise or get a new job is to take an employer match.
You're trying to avoid effort.
Yeah.
Don't wait until you're 50 and then just try to make more money. Because that would take a lot of effort.
In this video, we're trying to help you resolutions to make more money. Right. And this is one way that if you're not doing it, that's just an easy. I mean, it's correct. Easy.
Well, the 401k, even if you don't invest it, you literally make more money because the employer is giving you money.
It's a 100% return.
100% instantly. You scratch a lottery ticket and it says, yes, you paid $1, you get $1. It's instant.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else out there that can do that. That has nothing to do with investing. That's just your employer 401k match.
Yeah.
Or like I said, a simple plan, like any retirement plan.
Right.
That's you foregoing a raise. That if you don't want to do the 401k, you're literally saying, I don't really want a raise.
Yeah.
You know?
And everyone wants a raise, so just do it. Don't be lazy.
Right. Okay, so number 2, I would say my number 2 is, because I'm avoiding one of Ryan's, but I would say the number 2 is avoid headlines, political, money-wise. Literally today, I'll give you 2 examples today of how the media misled us. Today.
Just today.
This is just today. The media is like, energy is soaring. You know, like so much so, I was in a meeting this morning and the alerts were popping up on my phone. So much so, I'm like, holy cow, I'm soaring. Like as much as the alerts were popping up, I had in my head, and I'm in the business, like 8 to 10%, man, it's gotta be flying, because there was like most since whatever date they gave. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And I look at it and it was like 2.9%. Mm-hmm. That is not how I would define soaring. So they're just trying to create this, you know, this environment where you either panic or you watch. You know, they're trying to create a headline because they're trying to create noise. The second thing was they were like, Apple is bucking the trend today, bucking the sell-off. It wasn't a huge sell-off. It was 0.7% on the S&P, 0.7%. Or, I'm getting a phone call, I'm sorry. On the Dow, it was 0.8%. That's not a sell-off. B, Apple was down 0.48%. So it wasn't bucking a trend.
Yeah.
Like they're just, so just try.
233 out of, 28,000 points on the Dow. So.
And crude, oil closed up 2.9%. Like, so they're just trying to create mass hysteria. Please don't make any investment decisions based on headlines. Please consult someone.
And they're doing this because if you are watching it or you're getting Yahoo updates, there's not a whole lot else to talk about right now. It's been a pretty quiet month, and so they're really clawing for things to get people to watch. I mean, they get paid off of ratings, not whether your money grows or not. They're just trying to do their job, which is get people's eyes on their, articles, on their on their shows.
We're not selling ads. We're not doing anything other than trying to educate.
Yeah.
So listen to something like this, not motivated by anything, other than trying to help. Okay. So just the headlines. Just avoid those headlines. Right.
And was the other one you said? That was
one of the
kind
bonus,
of a bonus.
ones.
Do you want to switch the bonus? Do you want to tell the other one, the one you wanted to do be the third one, about the buzzword?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's one thing, this is probably the most important one in my opinion. If there's one thing out of all of finance, all of money, that you say, you know what, I'm going to take baby steps and I'm going to educate myself on something this year. 2020, I may not get a full-blown financial plan and a full-blown investment portfolio going, but I'm going to do one thing. Educate yourself on interest rates.
Gary.
We see time after time after time after time after time, people don't understand interest rates in general on their savings account, on their credit card, on their car loan, on their lease payment, on their home, on equity lines, on everything. People don't understand the levity of interest rates. So if there's one thing you start to pay attention to and educate yourself about, it's interest rates. The 10-year Treasury interest rate, I didn't look today, what is it, like 1.9%, something like that, for a 10-year investment, which means interest rates are low. So if somebody quotes you for a car loan of 21%, you have to know in your mind, wow, I think that's out of line. I think that's high. I think that's insane. If you have cash sitting in the bank and you're paying interest on a credit card, you have to understand, oh, my bank's paying me 1, and I'm charged by the interest rate at the company is 15. You're losing money. You need to take that money out of the bank. You're making yourself, in my example, 14% by just switching where the money is. You have to think this way if you want to make money in 2020. You have to focus on interest rates. You had an example too of something. I can't remember what it was. Somebody said something about interest rates.
Oh no, I was just saying that. Somebody's car loan. They were excited because they were able to get out of their car loan via an accident, and they were just saying how their loan was at a 20% interest rate, and I was like, yeah, you are kind of lucky that you were able to get out of that. I mean, 20% of an interest rate, but I was saying also people are saying because it was the headlines one that the PE ratio of the S&P 500 is
that's what it was.
So, yeah. Which isn't true, but
interest rates on your credit cards are probably one of the more important ones in comparison to if you do have cash laying around.
Yeah.
Your mortgage rates, we had a whole podcast/live about if you should pay off your mortgage or not based on interest rates. Car loans, again, your lease payment includes interest. If you look at how much you're paying in payments and you look at the payoff balance, the difference is interest, so you can negotiate that. There's different things that everything revolves around interest rates. Educate yourself on, I would say, 2 main ones, which is the Fed funds rate. Well, no, more prime rate is what is applicable to people on their like home equity lines, credit cards. Your prime, Google it. If you don't know what it is, you need to educate yourself on that. And again, we've done a bunch of Finance Fridays on actually what it is and what it means, and we won't get into depth here. And then the treasury rates, because that goes with mortgage rates. So interest rates, this needs to be the year.
Look them up. Know more about it.
Right? Okay, now you go ahead and you say yours, right?
All right, so this is number 3. Amy and I have differing views on this. I don't think we do as much as she just doesn't like the lingo.
Like the word.
But I think in 2020 you need a budget, and here's why. You need to know.
It's a dirty word. People are like, oh, budget.
But it shouldn't be a dirty word. If I knew, you need to know where your money's going.
You do. So you need to create healthy habits, healthy routines, healthy awareness.
Right.
I don't like the word budget because I feel like it's so restrictive. It's like the word diet. Like if you just make lifestyle changes,
I think
that's so much easier than sticking to a strict diet, because the second you deviate, you feel failure, and then it's a snowball that you.
And I agree with that, but I think that just like if you go off a diet or a lifestyle plan and you end up 600 pounds and on the TV show, you can do the same thing if you don't have a budget, and you don't have a plan for your year, and you don't know where your money's going. The reality is that it's not, ignorance is not bliss. If you don't if you don't know where your money's going, you could very easily next year have $20,000 in credit card debt. You have a car that's being seized. All of these things can be happening, and so you have to know where your money's going. It may not be as intense as knowing where every penny is going, but know how much your monthly payments are. Know where your auto payments are going. If you have an app that you're paying $20 a month on and you don't even use, you should know where that stuff is going. I think of it in 2 ways. Here's 2 examples. One, a good company, it always has a good budget.
That's true.
And I think that households need to be taken a little bit more in the mindset of a business. Now, I'm not saying that your kids are your employees and all that, but I'm saying that you need to know where your money's going, because if you want to be profitable at the end of 2020, you have to know where your money's going and where you're wasting money and where it's not profitable and where your ROI is not good.
Return on investment is ROI.
Yeah. And then another example is that I like, and here's just I think it's a good analogy, it may not be, but I do triathlons. And an example is that 3 years ago, I did a triathlon in Key West, and my training was willy-nilly. I would run, I would bike, I would swim, but there was no plan. I didn't have a nutrition plan for the triathlon, and I spent the whole time in pain. I didn't have a training plan. I didn't have a nutrition plan for the race. I ended up cramping the entire run. Barely finished. I struggled through the whole thing. This year, I did it again, and I had a training plan. I followed the training plan. I had a nutrition plan, and I beat my time by 30 minutes.
It's a road to success.
And so if you want to be successful, you have to have a plan. And so in my opinion, that is a budget. Now it could be as intense as knowing where every penny goes and going at it every once a week.
So let's get that clear. Is that's what I'm kind of like against, because I feel like you're setting yourself up for, I'm wasting so much time, I'm overwhelmed, and then you're going to end up quitting. Whereas like what you said earlier about, well, I need to spend money on myself, like I need to treat myself.
Right. And
whereas you could just budget per month, how much in general am I going to spend on myself?
Exactly.
Instead of like to the penny, you just give yourself like an allotment.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it, like general numbers.
Yeah. I think that's where the negative connotation, I'm trying to buck that, is that a budget doesn't mean don't spend any money. That's not what it's saying, because I do think
sometimes it can mean
it can if you have no money. Like, I mean, I think there's living within your means, but if you have the means to go out and buy yourself a nice pair of shoes, and that nice pair of shoes gives you confidence, and then it makes you the ability to go out and close more business and make more money.
There's a return on investment, even on like the material.
Right. Or I have a friend that talked about traveling. That fills you back up, and then you're ready to come back to work, and you can hit it hard. Those are good investments. But if it's not going to do that for you, then you're wasting money, and maybe you could be investing in something else. And I think that's my point on a budget. It's just more knowing.
Yeah.
Because I think there's businesses that I would say, if you looked at it from the outside in, it's like, oh, that might be a waste of money. But to them, they're like, well, we're taking care of our employees. We're taking care of our employees, and they're going to work harder for us. Exactly. And so I think that's my point of, and I think just the word budget does have a negative connotation.
Yeah, because like we've said in the past, like don't make your money temporary, because money could be something that sticks with you permanently for a lifetime if you let it. But if you do just willy-nilly spend, and you wake up in a year and you're like, man, where'd that money go?
Yeah.
Or like you get a tax return and you went hog wild crazy because you're like, yay, free money, which by the way, that was just giving you getting your money back. Congratulations, you gave the IRS a loan temporarily and you got it back for free. So that's not making you money, and then you go and you spend it. So just developing better habits of saying, you know, I'm going to make sure that when I do spend money, it's more thoughtful of I'm moving in the right direction forward, not just, you know what, I deserve it, I'm just going to do it. And then you wake up in a year, where's the money? It just makes money temporary, when money can be such a powerful tool and be so, like, control your mood. You know, like how many people, it's like finances either so super stressful, it's like for the cause of marital, you know, discomfort. It's such a huge thing that it's not something to just be uninformed about.
Yeah, and I think going back to like the weight loss thing is, if you are, you know, unhealthily heavy or something like that, or you know, you need a strict diet to kind of get to a healthy place, and then you can kind of, you know, then you can ease up a little bit. But if you are in a place where every month you're looking at it and less money is going in, more money is going out than coming in, then maybe it's a time to say, all right, I need to really tighten it up here, and it needs to be strict.
Well, it's so easy nowadays. Like there's apps, there's mint.com, like we have a portal that people can put electronic feeds into, from the bank accounts, from the credit cards, that'll give you like a net worth statement. You can see if you're moving in the right direction or the negative direction. It's something as simple as that I would recommend. Because just set up the automatic feeds and it would go right in.
So
you know,
I think in 2020, that's another thing. Get rid of that negative connotation of budget, because I think that it can also be free.
That's the good one right there.
Because I think the more you know, the healthier you are, and I think that's where we're at. So that's the third one.
So we did, the first one was, if you are not contributing to your company retirement plan and they're doing a match, you need to go do that tomorrow. You're giving up a raise, you're giving up free money, has nothing to do with investing and everything to do with your company is trying to give you more money and you're declining it. Number two, avoid the toxic headlines. Don't make investment decisions based on headlines. Get an informed, educate yourself in a different way from like people that are not motivated by things, by selling something. They're not motivated. Like it's those, I tried to watch one yesterday because a client sent it to me, like those 10-minute videos that are trying to sell something at the end. Like, you know, get it from an unbiased place. Number three, if you're going to focus on one thing, if you're going to educate yourself on one thing, interest rates. You have to be informed about interest rates. And last one, freeing yourself from the toxicity of the word budget and just making it more of a, I want to move in the right direction. I want to develop healthy habits. I want to be aware of my money because I don't want it to just blow up.
Exactly.
That's it. That's in summary.
Yeah.
If you guys have any other questions, again, share this out so we can kind of get the word out. Hey, my favorite cousin. Just kidding. All my other cousins. Just kidding. It's like an inside joke. Right? Okay, guys, have an awesome new year. We will do the Secure Act and inform you on all the retirement changes coming up. We'll do that soon. And so stay tuned.
Yeah.
Have an awesome week.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
See you later.
Have a good weekend.
You ending your Instagram?